of all, sir, and thank you so much for having some time uh, for us. And I'm very very hopeful that a lot of people are going to benefit from this short conversation that we might have, fruitful stuff that people could take away from. So, my first question would be that, according to you, how do you think the present generation perceives of the concept of fitness?
Say when we started fitness, say in the 90s or the 80s, the concept of fitness was very different. Today, the concept of fitness has changed, and it's changed for good. It's changed for good. If you see the amount of medals that we used to win in the Olympics in the 80s and 90s, that's increased. Uh, we tried our best to make PT Usha, but PT Usha was PT Usha. But today, we've managed to make a Hema Das, and it was only possible because of fitness and sports science. If you see Gopi Chand, when he started his academy, the first people he recruited with him was a sports scientist, a fitness trainer, he himself, and a biomechanic assistant. And you see, within a span of 4 or 5 years, he's produced the best badminton players India has ever produced. So today, the perception of fitness has changed compared to the 80s and 90s. Today, fitness is very different. In those days, we used to have fitness. Uh, Somebody had a big body and he was fit, or somebody used to do martial arts and he was fit. But today, the fitness concept is completely changed. Today, people have understood that fitness means having the 5 components of fitness. That is endurance, that is muscle endurance, that is musculoskeletal strength, that is flexibility, and finally body composition. So everybody wants a six packs, everybody wants to look good. The concept of fitness has changed. So thanks to the sports science, which has come in big time and help people. To some extent, I should thank the cricketers, the Indian cricket team, the cricketers, Saurav Ganguly, Rahul Dravid, especially Saurav Ganguly. They have brought the concept of fitness to India. They have managed to get it. So today the perception has changed.
Okay. My follow up question to this would be like, what kind of approach do you like to follow when assessing somebody who has come up to you with a fitness problem?
Okay, now suppose if anybody comes to me with a fitness issue, the first thing I need to understand is why has he come to me? What's his issue? Whether he is a guy who is obese and wants to look good, whether he is a sportsman, come to me for better performance enhancing, uh, whether he's come to me for just as if he's having some health issues, like for example some heart issues, or different type of health issues, not obese, different type of health issues. uh, Say maybe uh, uh, for example high blood sugar, high blood sugar. So depending on what issues he comes to me, I understand what he wants to, what his goals is. I understand where he wants to see himself in 5 years, and I help him to achieve the goal. See, you have to understand one thing, Abiru. If you are a sportsman, if you are a guy who is come to like just to become thin, or to remove obesity, or you have come to build a body, you have to have a plan in mind. You have to have a dream, a 5 years plan. Now, what I can do is I can help you achieve that plan. In I can tell you the process of how to reach there. Okay, and
Yeah.
it's not me alone or it's not you alone. We together accomplish it, and we together reach there. So until
You,
unless I don't understand what the issue is or why that person's come to me, I see like it amazes me. I see in YouTube. I see in YouTube many people say 7 days 6 packs or 10 days six packs or things don't work out like that. You suppose but you study sports science, Abhirup. If you understand that there are 3-4 types of anatomies. Ah, you think that somebody is an endomorph, and you manage to make him do 1 or 2 exercises, and he'll remove belly fat in 7 days.
oh God,
Like
no, never.
things don't work out like that. Like if he's an endomorph, uh, we have to make a strange like where, where are we training him? Whether we're training him in the ground. If I only have a ground handy with me, then his training schedule will be different. If I have a gym with me, then his schedule will be different. Now in the gym, what equipments I have? Suppose in the ground I have no equipments, and people think that okay, gym, okay, so this guy must be good, he has a lot of equipments. If things don't work out like that, a trainer is good. I'm sorry to say that, but a trainer, if he's good, you understand him then when he'll give you results without using any equipments. The
Absolutely.
lesser the equipments that he uses, the better the trainer he is. So if you have to see that dream, you have to understand where you want to see yourself in 5 years. I will tell you the process, how to reach there, and we see that dream together. If 2003 World Cup, Saurav Ganguly took India to the finals. That dream Saurav Ganguly never saw alone. He
Absolutely.
John Wright, Sachin Tendulkar, Ashish Nehra, Zahir Khan. He brought back Srinath after retirement, and they all together saw that dream. So it's basically a teamwork. It's basically a teamwork. A dream cannot be accomplished alone. I tell a lot of sportsmen who come to me. I said, see, I cannot make you win alone. You need to have a good coach with you. You need to have a good trainer with you. You need to have a good dietitian with you. You need to have a good physio with you. You need to have a good doctor with you. You need to have somebody who will tell you that, see, don't go to this club. This club, they won't make you play this year. So your one season will because next say football, somebody is playing on the right wing. Now the club already has a good right winger, so he won't try a new right winger this year. You go to you go to so and so club, because in so and so club their right winger is leaving and going to a bigger club, so they'll be requiring a right winger, so you join this club. Suppose somebody is a batsman and he wants to play a certain club, so they'll tell him, see, that if you're thinking that you're going to bat for this club at number 2, I'm sorry, because they already have a guy who's batting at number 2 and he's playing for Bengal. So you perhaps you may not get a chance. So you do one thing, you go to another club. So you need a manager that who can suggest you things. And when everybody moves together, then only that athlete goes up. It's not alone. It's amazing me. Like last 15 years, I'm shouting everywhere that you cannot make why we can't generate players, because the coach thinks that he's a physio, he's a trainer, he's a biomechanical analyst, he's a dietitian, he's everything. Things don't work out like that. You need specialized people.
Yeah.
If Germany won the World Cup last, I think 2014, they had 75 people with them. The 75 people never went to peel potatoes. They had some jobs with them. They went with a certain thought process. When India won in 2011, they had Carrie Kirsten with them. They had a guy who knew pranayam and yoga. They had Mike Horn with them. They had Andrew Lepus. They had Andrew Lepus with them. They had a full team with them to manage them, to take them to that height, to make them see that dream and win the World Cup in 2000. So it's a teamwork.
Absolutely. Well, what do you think? How easily are people people receptive towards youngsters wishing to make a career out of fitness and sports?
uh, my I had a fantastic perception about it till
Yeah.
COVID-19. After COVID-19, my perception is changing, because the way I'm seeing so many fitness people uh,
Yeah.
becoming jobless. Why to go out where I should be? Uh, I should be honest enough to tell you, I have not paid my trainer the last 2 months. In my
Yeah.
gym, I have not paid my trainer the last 2 months. How can I pay him? Because I myself am not recruiting money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting money myself. Uh, See, fitness and sports is big time. It's big time. Uh, this might be a phase that people will see like for a few months, and once it passes away, fitness and sports is big time. It's big money, but you have to be as a young guy, you have to be specialized in something. You have to understand what you're doing, and people think that fitness trainer means only in the gym. Like, I'll do a course about equipments in the gym and learn how to do gym and make people do cardio, make people do strength, and I'm fitness trainer. No, fitness trainer has a very very big concept about it. It's about all aspects. It's about training people on the ground. It's about training people in sand. It's about training people in say in the gym. It's about training people in water. So it's a very big concept. It's not as small as people think about it. So it's a good concept, a good uh, it's a good career, but depending on the perception, like what are you looking at, where you see yourself in 5 years, and
Yeah.
what are the things that you want to do, and how it's very important that how you're going to implement it. Say, when I thought of becoming a fitness trainer the day I decided to leave my commando job in Rapid Action Force. My perception was the only way it's possible is I have to enter a school as a physical education teacher, and then I'll be working with fitness of children every day, and slowly I'll build on that. So it took me around 15 16 years, but
Yeah.
I've managed to come there. So it's depending on what you're looking at it. Like, say, today in Calgary, a fitness trainer gets 7 to 8 thousand a month with 8 hours of duty. So that's too less, right? That's too
Yeah.
less.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And say in Mumbai, depending in Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, depending on the level of gym he works in, uh, he earns say 30 to 35 thousand. So in
Yeah.
Mumbai, 35,000 is not. It's tough. Now they try to pick up money on PT, their personal training, but personal training is very decisive. Like, today I have somebody who's personal training with me. Tomorrow he's left the city and he's gone to another city. Means then my that PT is gone. So now I have to search for another PT. So it's like it's a noble job, but then you have to be ready for the ups and downs of it.
Okay. And lastly, what would be your tips for the people of the present generation keeping fitness in mind, sir?
My tips would be, uh, always remember that there are 5 components of fitness, and all components are important. As you need endurance, you need to run fast, you need to run over a long period of time. uh, so you need muscle endurance. Your muscles should be strong. No matter what work you do, you should be able to stand for 8 to 10 hours and work. uh, you should have musculoskeletal strength. You should be able to lift heavy. You should be able to push, because in day-to-day life you need that. You need to be flexible. The more the flexible you are, the lesser the chance of injury you have. And finally is your body composition. You should have not more than 15 to 20% fat on you.
Okay.
Try to lower your fat percentage. Muscles okay, and you should look good, so you have that confidence to do better in life. And whenever you look good, whenever you think that okay, I'm in prime, I look good, I'm not bulging out, okay, from the mid portion, so then that person gets his confidence is high, and whatever he does, he's quite confident about himself.
Thank you so much, sir, for the lovely interaction that we had. And I'm pretty much sure that whatever you shared with us is going to be a source of inspiration for millions that watch us, millions that are looking for solutions. And I felt sincerely felt that you have a very different approach to the traditional solutions to fitness and sports. So I personally am very grateful that I could have actually got you over a video call in this kind of tough situation. And I hope that you stay safe and stay healthy. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
Abiru. And I like the way you listen to me, and
Thank you.
I hope people understand what I want to say. Uh, so, like, maybe in this way we may change the thought process of people,
Yes.
uh, and let's see how we move forward.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Abiru. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.